What's that one product that is completely worth your money? Prescription sunglasses. Yep. Total game changer, especially driving. 10-foot charger for your phone. On that note, a quality USB cable to charge your phone. A good under-sink home toolkit, if you don't have one already. I can say as a newly married 20-something it was the most useful gift my father-in-law got me. Also a car trunk toolkit / supply kit. Flashlight, emergency lights. Dad wouldn't let me have road flares like he kept in his car though. Basic tools, a bundle of rags, and various car juice refills from wiper fluid to antifreeze all in a nice little milk crate. I kept a small duffel bag in there with a blanket, towel, and a change of clothes too. A good and comfortable chair to your desk, especially when you plan to sit there a lot for studying, or if your job requires you to sit. It will spare you a lot of back pain. Edit. John sadly no longer wants me to sit. I exchange him for job. The right mattress can completely change your life. Everything in life can be affected by your sleep quality. I'd say start there. Suggestions. I'm in the market and drowning in advertisements that everyone's is the best. Oh man. Thanks for the suggestions. They are as all over the board as the advertisements, but I appreciate the leads. Sleeplecatheded.com seems to be the only review site that hasn't been bribed by mattress companies. They do not use affiliate links or accept free products. Roomba. Haven't swept in 2 years. 730 days my broom has not come from the side of the fridge. He probably misses me. I'm gonna go check up on him. Which Roomba you got? I'm thinking about getting one, and you seem to like yours. Don't get an actual iRobot. They are overpriced. There are great off-brand ones for 1/4 the price. We have an iLife A4, and it puts in work after twice a week. Our cats shed a ton. Got it on sale for $125, but they normally run around $175-200. Used to have a Roomba years ago. It wandered all over the place drunkenly and left the carpet looking like it had been wandered all over by a drunken robot. Then it broke in some weird way that I'm not roboticist enough to fix. It refused to go forward and would only back up slowly and complain. Got an Ito to replace it. It goes evenly back and forth like a human would do with a vacuum cleaner. Usually it can even find its way back to its docking station, although mirrors tend to confuse it. Good pair of shoes. I would say quality clothing in general is worth it. I used to buy the cheapest clothing I could get, e.g. t-shirts, pants, shoes, underwear, and they predictably wore out quickly, and then I'd be left with shitty, worn down clothing. Now that I'm older, I discovered that paying extra is definitely worth it for your clothing. I've had underwear, shorts, pants that last 4 years and remain in excellent shape, rather than a few pathetic months. Edit. Let me just say that you don't have to spend your life savings on clothing, as some have pointed out that they have bought cheap clothing that has lasted 4 years. This is entirely possible. There are so many brands and clothing out there that it's entirely possible that that cheap discount store or wherever else has great clothing for cheap. It's just that in my own personal experience, paying a bit more is usually worth it. If you have some place where you can buy cheap and durable clothing that you love, then by all means, keep going with it. I learned in my 30s that it is physically possible for socks to be made of sufficient quality that they don't get holes, even after years of wear and washings. Before I always believed it was an inevitable fact of life. All those Hanes and Fruit of the Loom socks are complete garbage. Even when the sole is grey and reinforced. Never again. An electric tire inflator for $29.95. It's so convenient to add air to the tires where you live rather than going to gas station air pumps, especially in winter weather. Better yet, spend $60 on a jump starter that has a compressor built in. That way, you're set in case of needing a jump start too. A good mattress and pillow. Have recommendations? I'm looking for a new mattress and pillow myself. I have been using the Zinus memory foam mattress, I think the 12 feet, that I got for like $180, and it's been great. Also recently got 2X memory foam pillows on Amazon from Coop Home Goods. They are very comfortable, just have to figure out your preference for stuffing as you can adjust it. As a homeowner, I can't say it enough. A wet/dry vacuum. New home marijuana here. Mind selling me on it? You can vacuum anything with it. Car interior, garage floor, liquid spill, pretty much anything that's on the ground will go into it. Then you just take the top off and pour the contents into trash bag box or whatever you want. It's a more rugged vacuum than indoor household type. Word of advice, don't clean out fireplace ashes with a wet/dry vacation. It's too fine. They sell fireplace wet dry vacs made of metal with filters though. Socks. Despite the expense and the inconvenience of obtaining them, there is nothing that compares to the feeling of wearing warm dry socks. I worked 50% outside and 50% inside for years in the northeast of the US. Wintertime was always a challenge to keep my feet warm and dry. Too thick of a sock and my feet would sweat while inside then freeze when I would go back outside. When I met my wife, she bought me a pair of $25 smart wool socks and I scoffed at her like she was crazy for spending that much on a single pair of socks. It only took one day of wearing them at work to make me understand that they were worth every penny. When my now wife and I first started dating, she thought I was nuts because I was stoked I found darn tough socks on sale for like $12 a pair. I work construction and my feet are always hot and sweaty. 6 years later I'm still wearing those socks in my rotation. Edit. This was like 5 years ago and it might not have been exactly $12. If I remember correctly, it was a wood sale. A good frying pan lasts 4 years and the quality of food I can cook with it is so much better. Also much easier to clean. My cast iron frying pan was my great grandmother's. She got it in 1917 when she got married. Oh man, that means you have a proper smooth surface cast iron pan. My cast iron seasoning has gotten amazing, but it's still a modern coarse pan under all that. I'd love one of the old smooth surface pans. They got pre-war Griswolds on eBay for like $200. Still cheaper than some new enameled cast iron. 3 good pairs of scissors. One for cloth, one for paper, and one for the kitchen. This saves so much time and aggravation. And label the fabric ones so people don't use them to cut anything else. The assholes. Yes. Or hide them like my mom did when we were kids. My mom sewed clothes for us when we were growing up, and she always hid her sewing scissors so we did not use them to make our paper book covers or cut out magazine articles about Davy Jones. A quality chef knife. My friend asked me for some kitchen recommendations last week, and a chef's knife was on the list, so I told him to get Victorinox. He texts me as soon as he used it and was like, "Is this really what it's like cutting things with a good knife?" He'd been using tiny shit knives all the time, and it rocked his world. Best bang for your buck as far as I've seen. I have one and they're great. I might upgrade in the future, but I want to get down whetstone sharpening first. LASIK surgery. Seriously, the only time I haven't regretted a major purchase. Y'all can have my $4,000 and my spectacles. Tongue scraper. Once you use one and see all the brown gunk that sits on your tongue, you will never want to go back. Try something like the tongue brush for even better results. It's like a wide low profile toothbrush, so no gag reaction. Don't buy their gel though, just use mouthwash or water. You'll know it's effective when you see how pink your tongue is and how food actually tastes better. A friend of mine tried to tell me that you can't brush your tongue, that's not how your tongue works. I respectfully disagreed, having seen all the shit that comes off of my tongue when I use the tongue scraper on my toothbrush. And yes, everything tastes so much fuller and richer when you scrape the crap off your tongue. I won't lie, I read this while brushing my teeth and started brushing my tongue vigorously. Actually decent pencils. FCKF brand pencils and their pink stubby shit. If you buy wooden pencils, buy Ticonderoga. If you buy mechanical pencils, get one that has a decent grip and lead storage cap. TTY ones just hurt to use. I've been a wooden pencil person for about 10 years strong, since getting an account with pencils. In college. My favorites are Palomino Blackwing and the Golden Bear. There's nothing quite like the smell of freshly sharpened incense cedar. A crock pot and a rice cooker. They were both around $35 and I use them a few times a week. A crock pot is my best cooking buddy. It's literally all I use to make dinners. An additional benefit is that I usually have leftovers too. Oh, that's a given using these bad boys. Bread from a bakery instead of regular stuff on the grocery store shelf, particularly if you can get it still warm from the oven, or at least very fresh. Or bake your own bread. It can be tricky, but nothing beats the feeling of eating bread that you made yourself. Tastes like satisfaction. A weighted blanket. Seriously, if you have anxiety issues at all, or just like the feeling of comfort, it is a worthwhile purchase. Also no, it doesn't get too hot. I think the beads inside of mine are made of glass, so I stay comfy all night. One sharp, well-tailored suit for work and formal occasions. After that you can just change up your shirt, trousers, and tie and you'll still look impressive. I would just say 2 suits, so that you can at least go back and forth, along with changing up the accessories. It's a better impressions, and would let you rotate them for cleaning. Source: had to wear a suit and tie for work, back in the day. Now it's casual everything. Toilet paper. I used to live with a guy who worked at a toilet paper mill. He got free triple ply, and oh my god is that stuff amazing.